Trojan fans, back with you with new cross-country and track coach Austin Selby. We got to know about his vision for Trevecca, but now it's time to get to know more about him and his personal life and his family and his upbringing. Austin, you've got the distinct honor of being able to run the New York Marathon and doing so in a time that's pretty remarkable, 2 hours and 49 minutes. So what drew you to get to that point to say, hey, I'm going to go up and perform at a high level at one of the most famous races in the world?
It's 100% my dad's fault. When they used to show it, it was a time when they'd show it live on the networks. Every November, first Sunday of November, my dad and I, we'd send my mom and siblings off to church, and he and I'd sit there and we'd watch the race, watch the greats, Tegla LaRupe and all the other Greta Weitz. I think I saw some of her races even. Watching them run, and just as a bonding experience with my dad. And if I was ever going to run a marathon, that was going to be it. And if you're going to do it well, has always been my thinking. So got the opportunity to do that and really enjoyed it and look forward to doing it again.
Most of us look at that and like, forget about it. What's the preparation like for a 26.2 mile run?
A lot of running. You look at the elite pros, they're running 120 miles a week on average to compete there. I was running about 80 to 90 at the peak. It's a lot of running. It's a lot of putting the miles in, a lot of, not short speed work, not a ton of that, just, lots of Sunday mornings and Saturday mornings spent, hour or two, sometimes 3 hours of running at various paces, watching what you eat, actually getting to eat a whole lot because you're burning a ton of calories. But, it was hard. It takes a lot of mental drive when you live in Memphis and you're training for a marathon and it's August. You got to get up at 4 a.m. and got to go run. And if it's pouring rain and gets cooler as the fall moves on, you still got to run. So it's a lot of mental toughness along with the physical part of it.
Was it your family that pushed you into running, or was it you that you had it in your mind that this is what I was going to be doing?
It was kind of me. My dad used to always go run at this lake where we lived, and one day I asked him if I could run with him, and he said, sure, but just one lap, don't want to do too much. And after about 2 or 3 weeks of that, I said, well, can I run as hard as I want? My dad was like, well, sure, you're gonna run too hard, you don't know what you're doing. And I lapped him and kept going. And so at that point, I realized I could run pretty well. I enjoyed it. I loved playing all the other sports, but I was never a standout. This was something that I could do really well and excel in. So just kept going.
Can you describe your career in the upper levels of cross country?
Right. Well, my college career was pretty short. I instead of doing what I should have done and gone to a smaller school where I was being recruited at, I tried to go to a big school with all my friends and went and walked on, had a great time. I was PRing all over the place. I was really fast. I was getting better, but just didn't fit into their program. And so I was actually cut. And after that, kind of took a little break from running. That's when I went overseas and worked as a church planner. But kind of got over that disappointment and started running again. Realized I loved it. No matter what, whether I had a school's jersey on, and just loved to run and wanted to keep going. And so I was able to develop into a marathoner.
Let's talk about your personal life. Married to Monica, 9 years, have a couple of kids. What's your family meant to you, coaching at the high school level and now coming here to the collegiate level?
They've been fantastic. Have 3 boys, and they love track. They love coming out and being out at the track, which is great because that means I don't have to leave my wife with the 3 of them alone from February until June for 4 hours in the afternoon. They get along with runners well, so they like being a part of it. My wife has been fantastic in giving me the kind of time, the travel, those long days at track meets or long trips to cross country meets where you're traveling a good bit. She's been incredible with that. She sits and listens kindly when I'm trying to go through a problem that we're having in my head or a training plan or some new idea I've come up with. They've been fantastic. All the boys say they're going to run or do something, so I haven't scarred them, which is good. And so they've just been great as far as being supportive, and even with the marathon training, which when you're working and you're running, it takes a lot of sacrifices, and a lot of where I'm at right now not possible without them being okay with it.
You had a rough moment at one point in your life, being hit by a car, going through some surgery. Give us the details. Inform me, inform the boss, and obviously inform the Trojan faithful, going through a tough time after being in a serious car accident.
Yeah, it was about a month after that New York City Marathon. I was out for a run. I was picking my training back up again, setting sights on the spring, what I was going to do running-wise. And an out-of-control car going about 70 miles an hour came from behind and, for lack of a better term, ran me over. It kind of actually threw me up in the air, and I was pretty injured. I was injured pretty badly. To date, it's about 7 surgeries. I hope I'm done. I think I'm done. So I was pretty messed up. My orthopedist said I was in the hospital for a while, and when I first went into the office, he said, you might want to find something else to do. I don't think running's going to be your thing anymore. And, of course, my first thought was, yeah, right, I'd like to see you, I'd like to – I'm going to enjoy telling you what I was able to accomplish, and was able to recover from it with a lot of help from the family and a lot of help from friends, and back running again. I'm a little slower than I used to be just because I'm trying to get back into shape. But it was hard, but, was able to make it.
Coach, I want to thank you for your time and catching up with us, talking about the program, talking about your personal life, and we're excited to have you here in Nashville again, and we'll talk to you later in the year.
Excellent. Thank you. It's great to be here.